Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Brandon, hold my game. This is Legion League, and this is Path of Exile. This isn't a build guide completely, but I will go over quite a few things and my progress that I have made in the past few days. So basically, this is a Bladestorm Berserker. You can use a lot of different skills. I've tested out Cyclone, Lacerate, Bladestorm, Perforate, and a few others like Reeve, Cleave, and a few other different ones as well. They all work with this one build. You just have to switch out the gems, of course, for certain skills. Cyclone, of course, needing infused channeling and a few others. All the skills, though, can definitely use this one new support called Close Combat. They all use Impale. They all use Fortify, and um, they pretty much all use melee physical damage. So the only one that really can change here is Pulverize, but since they're all basically AoE skills, I usually just keep them on. This is my general setup is Impale because it's the biggest multiplier in the entire freaking universe. And then I use Close Combat, Melee Physical, Fortify for, fortify because you want to take less damage and not die, right? Pulverize. Pulverize gives a more area of effect. Yes, more. It's better than Ink AoE with stacking even more damage, more melee area damage, and then less attack speed. Yes, less attack speed, but I can easily counter that with my rage stacks because as you can see here, 1.67 attacks per second, but it's a lot faster, honestly. Once you get all the stuff set up. So we have a 386 multiplier, and we have a 51 crit chance offhand, and 39.9 chance to crit main hand. Now, as you'll probably notice, my damage is 32.4k. With Cyclone, I've seen up to 400k tooltip, but that's probably just representative of how fast it attacks. Also, to keep in mind here, Um, mana is going to be a big problem in this build because, well, the speed at which you attack versus the amount that you leech per second is going to be a big problem. Now, um, another thing is that I'm not sure what auras to go. I'm debating of taking this off, but if you see this, I have a 100% chance to hit a 97% chance to hit evasive monsters. Now, if I take that off, it goes down to 93 and 87, which is not a guaranteed hit on any enemy that isn't evasive, and a smaller chance of hitting things that are. But I would like to think that it's going to be alright, honestly. Another thing that's pretty cool, if you notice here, Flesh and Stone has a huge amount of main damage. It's because there's a trick that you can do. I read it on a guide, honestly, because I would have never known this otherwise. So if you look at this, it says enemies mained by the skill take 15% increased physical damage. If you read this skill, enemies mained by supported skills take 14% increased physical damage. Those two are supported by each other. Those two work together for a combined total of 29% increased phys damage taken. It's basically a MAME aura. As you can see here, it's a MAME aura. Now, this is a blinding aura because it's in, you know, Sand Stance, but when you go into Blood Stance, this right here, this is a MAME aura. I use this for bossing. I don't use this generally for, mapping. The AoE is nice and all, but it's not as good as the Sand Stance. Sand Stance increases your AoE, I believe. It also reduces the damage that you do a tiny bit versus Blood Stance, which is why I use Blood Stance in bosses. It has a smaller AoE but more damage. As you can see, It does 32.4k, almost 32.5k here in Sand Stance. I switch over and it does 38.9k, almost 39k. Now, links and equipment that we are using right now that's really, really cheap. It's budget friendly, it's really good. Now, you want to have 3 green sockets in this weapon, and I'll go over why. For anyone that's new, for anyone that doesn't know, for anyone that isn't, like, there's a lot of text to read here, but the most important one here is the green socket multiplier. So basically, you want to have 2 things with the Scava. You want to have it in your main hand, and you want to have it in your you want to have it with 3 green sockets. Now, it'll give an increased global accuracy rating. That's nice. It'll give an increased crit strike chance. That's nice. It'll give different things depending on what sockets you have. Now, this is what I'm going over. So, the rolls here are pretty damn high. I like it. It has good rolls. Not the best crit chance, but pretty good fizz damage anyway. So, the green socket is most important here. Reason being is that it'll give 30% critical strike multiplier in total if you have 3 green sockets. That took me a few chromes to roll, honestly. It's not that hard because it's a strength dex base, I believe. Um, yeah. So, let me see something here. So basically, yes, it is a strength X base. Okay. So let me see what other gear we have here. We have Blood Rage, Precision. Now everything is kind of jumbled up. I haven't fixed a lot of things because I just don't have the currency for it. But thing is that I have improved. I've gotten past the gold rim stage. I don't actually need that anymore. As you can see, I'm overcapped. 77 fire res from 75, 76 cold, and 76 lightning. Who cares about chaos, really? Um, we have a chance to block damage, which is pretty good. We'll attack damage. Our movement speed is not hindered by our armor because of the tree, which I will show off in just a minute here. Now, you want cast when damage taken at a very high level, basically level 20 eventually. Reason being is because you want to have steel skin, have cast when damage taken so you don't have to time it constantly. It'll actually save your life even more than the new Immortal Call. I don't really like the new Immortal Call. Now, another thing that I could do here is once I get another red socket somewhere, I could take off Herald of Purity. Like, I could just put it in a different slot, I mean, and then put Immortal Call here to get even less damage taken for Elemental and Physical. Um, that's an option that you can definitely do. Immortal Call as well. High level, of course. Um, we went over the links for this. Okay. My gear is basically the poor man's version of what it's going to be representing later on. But this is my helmet. I just spent 10C on it. It's probably a bit overpriced that I spent for it, but it's fine. I mean, it has life, it has the res that I needed, and well, it's just good for me anyway. The amulet is nothing special. None of my gear is really special. It's really cheap, crappy starter stuff. So, yeah, life, T0, like, not T0, like, really the basic fizz damage to attacks, elemental res, not even that much. The ring, the other ring, just I just was filling out my stats, of course, because I just barely have enough to put on level 16 Herald of Purity and no more. Like, if you took off even one intellect point, intelligence point, I would not be able to use Herald of Purity. Now, another thing, Blood and Sand is very useful, as you can see here. 14% more area damage while Blood stands, less area of effect. That is what I was explaining earlier, and that's why. You definitely want to have this, and you definitely want to put it over here on your bar whenever you need to switch, because it has a lower cooldown than the other one by a good margin. Let me see where the other one is. 1.82 seconds versus 1.43. As you can see, It's a lot better that way. We use Berserk, and I'll go over that in a minute. We use faster attacks, Leap Slam, Ancestral War Chief. You could swap this out when I get a few more red sockets somewhere for Endurance Charge on Melee Stun, because this new Leap Slam, the new and improved one, has increased stun duration against enemies that are on full life, and you always stun enemies that are on full life, which is pretty nice. Now, the belt is this. The flasks are as following. Ample Divine Life stat of Staunching. I couldn't really get that much of a better one. I, again, don't have much currency. So, Bleeding. Another Bleeding, just in case. Freeze, because, you know, you don't want to freeze, and then if you freeze, you'll probably die in just a second or two. Even if you unfreeze yourself, you'll probably still die if you're not careful. Um, this has duration and movement speed. A guy gave this to me without, like, it wasn't good at all, the rolls, but I'm very happy that he gave that to me, honestly. So, yeah. Okay. So, I rolled it and got that. And then this has duration on it, immune to poison, which is fine for now. And that's basically it. So, you want to look at my passive tree? Well, here it is. I made this myself, and this is it for now. For the fourth lab, I'll tell you what to choose in just a second, but I'll go over everything else beforehand. Now, Crave the Slaughter, you gain 1 rage on attack, no more than once every 0.3 seconds. Now, my attack time is 0.6, so I'll be gaining like half a rage per second, but it'll be much faster in combat, much, much, much faster. Um, and of course you get more attack speed on these little nodes. And then Rite of Ruin, it'll triple the effects of Rage. You cannot be stunned while you have at least 25 Rage, which you'll basically always have, especially for bosses. Um, you then want to choose Aspect of Carnage for your third lab. The reason why I don't choose it earlier is because that increased damage taken, and you're probably not that tanky earlier on. Unless you really, really feel like you can tank, I would recommend not to take it. This is a much better choice in my opinion because you get 150% attack speed, attack damage, sorry, not attack speed. You gain 75% attack speed, that's what you get, and 30% increased move speed. I did all the math here. So, 150% attack damage, 75% increased attack speed, and then 30% move speed. That's really, really good. So, you definitely want to do that. It's a big quality of life. You don't get stunned, you triple the effects of rage, and you just do so much more damage, in my opinion. It's really, really good. For your fourth lab, you have a choice to do this. I mean, this is the clear-cut choice for me, giving more multiplier, adding a huge amount of flat damage to attacks if you dealt a critical strike recently, this is a critical strike build, very easy choice, and then increase critical strike chance for attacks by 80%. Not more, but just 80% increased, which is not well, if it was more, then it would like almost double my crit chance, which would be insane, but whatever. Anyway, 25%. Yeah, this one is pretty good, honestly. I like it, but it's up to you. I would definitely choose this for the damage, honestly. This one's also pretty nice. You get increased damage, you get increased attack speed. Overall, they've really improved Berserker. The only thing I would never take is this Blitz, because the thing is about Blitz, oh man, it's like, it gives 40% more attack speed, which is nuts, but it also reduces your critical strike chance by 200% in total. It's just annoying. It's like, I don't want to choose that, honestly. It's as good as it is. It just has too much of a detriment, a drawback to it that makes me say no, I don't want to choose it because I don't want to lose all that crit chance. Now, anyway, onto the tree. You basically want to start off like this. You go over here, you go up to here. I um I personally would either go if you have a good crit weapon. Well, what I did was I first went from here up to here, chose this, stopped there, and then I went down here, grabbed this cluster here, then I went up, I grabbed this and got all the way up to here to get as much health as possible. Then I went down, I grabbed this. Now you might need leech at a very early on, so if you need leech, you definitely want to just go from here instead of going up to the Constitution wheel. I would grab this and not the life yet, and then grab the leech all the way up to Vitality Void. And then you can do what I said is to go up, and then down, and then grab this. More regen is nice to counteract rage. And you definitely want to grab Soul of Steel. That's where you get your 1% maximum elemental resistances, which is just absolutely nasty. Really, really good node. And even if you don't have a lot of armor, you'll have a 5% additional fizz damage reduction, which is pretty freaking nuts, honestly. Now, you definitely want to grab this life wheel that you're right next to. You definitely want to grab for crit, disemboweling, and I'll probably grab this eventually. It's just 15% multiplier, as good as that is. There's a few other better nodes out there for now. Another 15% here for another 30%, but I grabbed this for now. Excuse me. Okay, so disemboweling, dismembering. You want to choose Blade Master, of course, more accuracy, attack speed, fizz damage, and other stuff, melee range. And I would not grab this unless you're doing a bleeding build. I think it's honestly a waste of points, in my opinion, unless you're doing a bleeding build, since it says bleeding is going to tick down faster. So, you know, instead of like doing 100 damage per second, you'll do like 115 damage per second, which it's faster or something like that. I don't even. It's fine. Anyway, you want to grab this for a bunch of multiplier and some crit chance. Not much, but a bit. 60% is actually not that bad, but it's a good bit. Mostly the multiplier is what I'm looking for, which is pretty good. Then I eventually went up to here, grabbed Twin Terrors. Eventually I'll grab the Life Wheel. As soon as I level up, I'm going to definitely grab Fatal Blade. I don't need the attack speed, but I might just grab it, honestly. It's pretty good. I'll grab these three first for the life recovery from Flask recovery rate, more health by 10%. And then I'll grab this for a total of 20%, I believe. 4, 8, 12. Yeah. 22 actually. 22%, okay. Now, as we go along, I will update the tree. Most likely, I'm going to grab the rest of this health here. There's one node that I'm missing there. Um, two nodes here. What else would we grab? These three nodes, go up to here and grab this for the multiplier and crit chance. And that's basically it. If there's any leftover points, I honestly wouldn't know where to stick them for now, but I might as well stick them over here for accuracy and sword damage, um, attack speed, or if you need more accuracy, choose this. And then this, of course, for even more stuff. It's pretty good. There's another sword node, I believe, somewhere, unless that was it right there. Um, yeah, this one. Blade Dancer is pretty good. That one's, yeah, pretty good. That one's for axes, that one's for maces, that one's for cold damage. But yeah, that's basically my little thing. Now to go into gameplay of it, Yeah, 20 minutes in. I'm sorry, that's a lengthy explanation. It's just, I like to be thorough with my build. Alright, so, we're not doing high tier maps by any stretch of imagination for now, because, I just started mapping, and, I mean, really, if I had high tier maps, like, and I was a higher level, had more health, and etc., it would be very good. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain one thing. I actually somehow remembered it. I don't even know how I remembered, but Berserk. You may think here, okay, why is it that you want to use Berserk? Because it reduces your rage and you'll lose it all. Well, it's a huge burst of damage, and I mean huge. It's absolutely massive. It gives you more movement speed. You'll move around much faster in a boss fight, which is where you basically want to always use it in. You'll gain more damage with attacks, more attack speed, less damage taken. So it's a freaking less damage taken. That's a lot. That's a huge amount of damage taken less. And it's really good. Like you'll see just how good it is in just a minute here. I haven't died. Like I died a few times in maps, but I haven't died in the campaign. I actually carried people from Act 8 to 10 without dying. I carried a full party without dying, and I even had to go back and help this one guy that missed one of the orbs and do it again with him. Didn't die. I came very close a few times actually in Act 8, was it? I believe? Or was it 9? No, it was 8. I came close a few times in Act 8, but that's because I got hit by the Depraved Trinities. I don't even know what attack that was, honestly, but I got hit by something that got really, really hurt. Okay, gameplay. But yeah, carried them through. Very easy, very simple, very nice. As you can see, we survived just fine for now. This has Beyond on it, so we have to be careful a bit, because I know bosses are going to start to... Oh shit, I just clicked that by accident, didn't I? Rip. Please don't die, Brandon. Oh shit, I'm going to activate Berserk here. As you can see, we're running out of mana really fast. Oof, get out of here. Host, I believe that was, if I remember the name. Did good, though. I did get pretty low in health, but still did good. Anything else we missed? I don't think so, but let's just check. Nope, doesn't seem like it. Alright. Look at that AoE. Pretty damn good. I like it. But as you can see, we do run out of mana quite fast. I honestly would take off Precision just to get more mana so we can hit more. Use the skill more often. Mm, excuse me. I don't know, I've been having digestion issues lately. Sorry, guys. We still crit quite often, honestly. As you can see, we attack pretty fast. Oh god, the latency there, Jesus. Nope, you're not hitting me with that lightning, killing me like you did the other time. This is just a T1, or is this T2 actually? T1 map, but still. It's just gameplay. You basically want to use Blood Rage, use Berserk on really high health or difficult to kill enemies, and that's basically it. Just spam Blood, Bladestorm, and Sand stands for mobbing, Blood stands for bossing, And that's basically it. I'll end the video after this map though. Feeling a bit tired, but I wanted to go over this for you guys. Just a little bit. I'll put my character link in the description down below if I remember. Hopefully I will remember. And you guys can see a live update of all the things that I do with this character. I will have more gameplay videos of higher tier gameplay later on, of course, once I get up there. I'm not even going to say if I get up there, because I freaking will get up there, as far as I know. As long as my schedule isn't too busy, which it shouldn't be, honestly. Ow. Oh god, I thought that was gonna kill me for a second. I was like, wait, there's so many enemies. Okay, we're good. Didn't even have to activate Blood Stance there. Did pretty good. Mostly because I forgot, but you know, no one needs to know that. And what? These guys are quite tanky. I'll just use Blood Stance on them. Alright, map clear for the most part. We're gonna go mop up the rest. If we can find them in a decent time anyway. If not, we'll just end it, but I like to be thorough. Very thorough. Eh, I can't really find them. Oh well. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. You guys have a good one. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, have a great night, have a great evening. I will see everybody later. I hope that this build guide was um, a little bit detailed for you guys. I hope it helped shed some light on some stuff and helped you out a little bit. So, I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you have a great day doing whatever it is you're doing. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. Have a good one.